Okay, so hello and good morning. We are a team from Crea House Agency, which are composed by Susana, Tomas, and me, Ailyn. We are an agency which specializes in market research. And today we're going to be talking and tackling a problem that is currently happening in the Dominican society. Please go ahead. So the problem or need that we have in hand. So today, many young Dominicans between the ages of 20 and 30 years old are being faced with the reality that our economy is going downwards every day. And because of this reason, we're being faced with the fact that we have to work even more. We have to find a side hustles or maybe a second job to keep up and be able to afford the things and afford the life that we want. Not even a life in the way we want, a standard life. So because of this is preventing us and the young Dominicans to be able to have time for the other important things, such as eating and eating healthy. So that leaves us with the question, what products or services would be useful for young Dominicans who want to eat well but don't have the time to cook every day? But first, let's describe our ideal customer. First, talking about demographics, we have the typical age group. This is people or young Dominicans between the ages of 22 and 30 years old who are entering the work field or maybe are working and studying at the same time. So that means that they don't really have time to worry about food or eating healthy. Then we have gender. So we don't really incline to any gender, but maybe slightly towards women because this gender group tend to care a little bit more about their health and what they're eating. Then we have education level. Like I said, it's going to be mostly people who study or already finished and have a major and graduated. And if they haven't graduated, they are probably looking for another program to get into. So, occupations and income. These are people who are probably looking for a full-time job or part-time job if they don't already have it. People who probably work in marketing, creative jobs, or maybe tech, which are jobs that require your full attention and require you to be maybe in one place for long periods of time, difficulting the task of doing the other things that we have to do, like think about food or maybe um, things that we like to do, hobbies, and etc. Now we have locality. So this group mostly lives on the most populated places of the country, meaning Santo Domingo, Gascue, even Piantini, places where a lot of young people tend to concentrate. And lastly, for demographics, we have the household occupation. So if these people don't live alone, they mostly live with their families. But in the household, they also tend to contribute, maybe monetarily or doing maybe household chores and stuff like that. Please go forward. Now we have the psychographics. So hobbies and interests. These are people who enjoy feeling healthy and moving. They like maybe going to the gym. They probably do CrossFit, and maybe they run. They like cooking healthy foods, but more on the simpler side. And they're passionate about personal growth. Now, the problem that they would be solving, this would be that they don't want to spend as much time thinking about food or planning for it, and they don't also want to be buying food every single time they need to eat. Why? Because obviously this will be detrimental to their financial health, but also because the foods that we tend to buy are not always the healthiest. And this is something that this ideal customer really wants to focus on. Now, we have concerns and anxiety. It would be that the prices will be too high in comparison to the prices they already pay for groceries or food in general. And the turn-offs would be like um, slow delivery and missing items and food that has gone bad, etc., etc. Please, next one. And last, from my part, we have the behavioral traits. So there are people that don't tend to spend as much time online and looking at social media because they thrive. They're looking to have a lifestyle that concentrates in personal growth. So they don't really seek that much interaction, or maybe they don't really look up to the people who are right now popular on the internet. So this would be, and also this would take a lot of time from the already crammed schedule, which doesn't make sense for this ideal customer. So they value efficiency. They go by the motto, work smarter, not harder, not harder. So yeah. And then we have that this ideal customer prefers to have routines in their life, preferably healthy ones that contribute to their overall health. Now, their days are mostly packed, like I said. So this is why they don't really have time to do other things like thinking about what they're gonna eat or what they're gonna do next, what hobby they could do. They don't really have time for this. The cooking is not always going to be a priority. So they need to find new ways and new accessible, new quicker ways to figure out their meals. And lastly, we have that they tend to go to try and make their week meal plans, but they tend to not follow it through the week. And yeah, and that was all for me. Thank you so much.
Uh, okay, hello. I'm Thomas and I'm going to explain the part of data collection. So, to support our product as a primary data, we design an online survey to understand eating habits from our target audience, that is young adults in urban areas of Dominican Republic. The survey was distributed by social media platforms, university groups, and WhatsApp network to ensure the broad reach. And to complement our primary data, we consult some sources to understand the nutritional landscape in the Dominican Republic. The first sources is the Global Nutrition Report that indicates the 38.1% of adult women and the 25.0% of men are suffering obesity, surpassing the regional average. From the IANA's report, it says that 27% of the Dominican Republic population is obese and the 37% is overweight. Now we are going to introduce the questions from our online survey. Can pass.
Hi, my name is Susan, and in the following slide, we're going to talk about the structure of the survey and the insights it revealed to us. So the 88% of the sample of the population we surveyed is between 18 and 24 years old. And 80% of them goes to school, where the 50% of them work and study at the same time. So this confirms the facts that Ailyn explained before, that most of them have a heavy schedule because some work and study at the same time, and also some just study, but they have a heavy schedule that do not allow them to prioritize their health. And we asked them if they usually cook at home during the week, and only 13% of them responded that they do if their schedule allow them to cook. They said that sometimes they cook, but it depends on their availability. We also asked them how important is healthy it is to eat healthy for them. And 56% says that they care about eating healthy. And even though 44% of them say that it's somehow important, it doesn't deny their desire to eat healthier. In addition, we asked them the principal question that will determine the type of product or service to approach this problem. And we asked them, would you be interested in receiving a weekly box of healthy, ready-to-prepare meals with ingredients and recipes included? The charts reveals that 50% of them are completely interested, while the other 50% confess that they're interested, but it depends on the cost. And this insight is great because we know that Dominicans primarily factor that determines their purchase decisions are the cost of the products. We also asked them what type of meals they would like to receive in the box, and lunch, dinner, and also healthy snacks were the main voted. However, lunch won the race because we all know that lunch is like the principal meal of the day that a lot of people prioritize. Some people don't even have breakfast, and others don't even eat dinner when they get home after work or after school. In addition, we asked them if they're willing to prepare meals following instructions, and 63% of them said that they will prepare the willings, that 60% of them are willing to prepare the meals following instructions, which is good for us. And we also asked them how much they're willing to pay for this product. Only 19% of the sample is not willing to pay more than 800 pesos. So this tells us that it depends on the cost that they are willing to consume the product that we're trying to offer them.
So we have the data analysis, and based on the response from our online survey, we can conclude that a significant majority express interest in a weekly healthy meal box, indicating that we have a market demand for convenient and nutritious food options. The primary challenge to maintaining a healthy diet were the lack of time for meal preparation and a limited access to afford the healthy food. Many respondents report consuming fast food multiple times a week, underscoring their need for healthier alternatives. And in the part of the price, the majority were willing to pay from 600 to 800 for a weekly bot, suggesting a price point for our product. And for the last, the respondent show a preference for balanced meal with options for vegetarian and high protein diet.
Thank you, Thomas. So in the following slides, we'll see which solution we're proposing to solve the needs of this sample of population. Our proposed solution is a subscription based on an app that allows users to choose between two weekly options. The first one is a box with pre-portioned ingredients and easy recipes for quick cooking. They will receive a recipe to follow and to prepare the meals. And the second option is ready-made meals that are healthy, portion controlled, and ready to heat and eat. So how does this box looks like? This is the box. We call it Cook and Go. As we can see, the box has different tones of green and white, and also it also has white. So why do we choose green and white? Well, we chose green because the green is associated with health, with peace, and with nature. And we want them to perceive that we are giving them healthy, organic meals. Also, the green stimulates the brain and creates harmony and balance. And that's what we want to offer them. We want to offer them an option that will be integrated in their schedule of life, but will also bring balance. As we said before, most of them don't have time to cook their meals, and they will love something to um, help them to eat healthy, but without consuming their time. And white. White is associated with purity, cleanliness, and safety, and also gives the sensation of peace and balance. So the green and white will allow us to be perceived as a brand that offers a solution for those people who are trying to eat healthy, are trying to prioritize their wellness and to have a balance in their life. The material we chose for this box is cardboard because it is recyclable and a biodegradable material. So they can reuse it, or they can just, they will not be worried about how the impact of the environment. And there, in addition, the measurements and consumer final price for the first option of the pre-portioned ingredients for quick cooking, we're proposing a box of a length of 14 inches with a width of 12 inches and a height of 8 inches. It'll be big enough to carry the ingredients that they need to prepare the meals, and it has a weekly price of 1,800 pesos. The second box, or the second option of the subscription, will be a ready-to-eat meals box. And this box has measurements of 7 inches per 7 inches. It'll be squared, but not as big as the other one because the meal is already prepared. So it has 7 inches of length, 7 inches of width, and 3 inches of height. And the price we're proposing for this one is 2,500 weekly. And why 2,500? Because we'll have to put effort and time in preparing the meals so they can receive them ready to eat. And this is it. Thank you so much for watching the video and listening to our product proposal. And I hope you have learned something new. Bye-bye.